This is Classic FM.
Anthony, great concert this evening, and the start of the season as well. And you know, it was such a nice way of opening things with lots of light music, lots of stuff. Frankly, I was tapping along to.
No, we could. I mean, because we're doing this wonderful Brahms Schumann project right through the season, and we nearly started with that. But this seemed such a wonderful, joyful way to come back back to work, as it were, back to the autumn season.
And actually, I was talking about this on air. You know, orchestras do take this break over the summer. So, what is it like for you guys? Is it like back to school? You know, everyone gets back together again after the summer holidays?
It is like that. I mean, we do during the summer. The orchestra sometimes does summer festivals, Edinburgh tours sometimes, proms sometimes. So I mean, it's not they completely stop. But I mean, there is quite a long period in which they may sometimes be playing with other orchestras. But as the Northern Sonfonia, this is the first date back after the break, and it's always that's always quite.
I guess people might be thinking, well, what do they do over the summer? They sit with their feet up, but they're not doing just that, are they? It's important to have that break.
No, I mean they would obviously practice, of course. Some of them would work with other orchestras. Some of them would do like chamber music or solo or other sorts of activity. But the orchestra as a whole takes a decent break in the summer.
And when they get back together again, what's that like? Is it sort of like, oh hi, saw your holiday pictures?
Yeah, it's a bit of that. And actually,
like going back to school.
Well, it is like going back to school. It depends a little bit what we're doing. We're doing a programme like this, which is a really joyful extrovert programme. There's that wonderful sense. You know, if you come back and it's some really complex contemporary piece, that can suddenly feel like hard work.
So this is a great way in. But you know, John's also great at getting the orchestra to have a bit of fun. Yeah. You know, what I got from the audience is that they're all really enjoying it, and and the orchestra were as well, and that sort of programme, it helps that whole process, doesn't it?
It's a terrific relationship, and John is so fastidious about this stuff. I mean, so often it's not played very well, it's not rehearsed very thoroughly. He's so fastidious himself, and this is a small orchestra of virtuosi individuals, so it's a terrific partnership for this sort of repertoire.
But I said to John, it was honestly like, the acoustic in here is so amazing. It was honestly like listening to a CD, you know, and CDs they kind of re-record and re-record and re-record. It's absolutely note perfect. It was really terrific, and you benefit very much from the acoustics in this hall.
The acoustics in all the halls here and in the school are terrific. I mean, we spent more money on the acoustic almost than any other aspect of the building, because it's the one completely unforgiving thing. If you spend £50 million building a centre like this and the acoustics aren't great, you've kind of wasted the whole lot.
You know, I'm amazed at how much happens at the Sage. It's quite extraordinary. How do you get your head around programming so many different things for all the different spaces?
No, it's a lot. I mean, it's about 500 concerts a year, so it's more than one a day. And we've got this enormous education programme, which isn't just in the northeast; it goes nationally. And there's a lot of. I mean, it's an army of people, but there's a lot of terrific programme. It's all experts in their own thing. So there's red-hot classical music experts, there's terrific jazz programmers, there's people who absolutely know about world music, there's a wonderful group of people programming rock music. And each one of those has a very particular international specialisation, and then it all comes together in this incredible mixed programme.
So as General Director, what happens? Do you sit down and you have to kind of, like the Chancellor, you're sort of sat there with the budget and going, no, you can have a bit and you can have a bit. I mean, how do you negotiate who goes on and what happens?
Yeah, I don't lean over people's shoulders for the individual programming decisions, because that would drive them mad. That's not right. What I try and make sure is that the kind of tone of voice of the thing is always right. There's always that sense of inclusive welcome, that the balance of music is right, that we're doing all the relationships between performance and education that we should be doing. So my job is really to make sure that the whole picture fits together.
So if you had to say, what is the Sage Gateshead? How do you, when you sit there and you're looking at that and you're creating that image in your head that you kind of try and bring to the people in the entire northeast, what do you think? What is it about?
Well, it's an interesting question, because we do a lot of concerts and we also do a lot of education, and so the answer to that question is, where do those things come together? And they come together in the notion of discovery. So we think of this place as a centre for musical discovery. Performers make discoveries, students obviously make discoveries, audiences make discoveries, and this is a place, this isn't a sort of sit back in your chair and go to sleep place. This is really a place for musicians and audiences and students who really want to, gain new skills, find out new kinds of music they didn't think they'd enjoy and find they do. I mean, tonight's audience, there will have been a lot of people who knew they were going to enjoy it. There will be a lot of people who came just because it was John Wilson, and will have made a whole load of new discoveries tonight.
It's a really great concept, by the way, and it's really nice to talk to you, and we are enjoying our time at the Sage. Looking forward to our broadcast tomorrow, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much.